So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining today's Princeton.
You got it. You're on mute, Srinivas. Someone, guys, please don't mute anyone with the ones who are in host privileges because it sometimes gives an issue. Yep. Go ahead, Srinivas.
Okay, let me reshare again. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Thanks once again for joining today's Princeton MuleSoft Meetup session. Today's topic is on MuleSoft RPA. Shravan Lingam will explain and present a demo on how to automate the process of RSVP to MuleSoft Meetups. So, the safe harbor statement. So we are organizing this meetup in our individual capacity only. We are not representing any organization or a company here. And this presentation is strictly for learning purpose only. We do not hold any responsibility if this solution works for your business requirements. And this is not meant for any promotional activities as well. So housekeeping rules. So as we are saying from the beginning, only host and the speaker will be able to speak, and rest of the folks will be muted. Uh, if you have any questions during any part of the session, you feel free to post your question in the question and answer chat box, and we will try to answer it either during this session or end of the session. So also at the end of the demo, there will be a Q&A session, and this session will be recorded, and the recording and slides will be available in Princeton MuleSoft Meetup group and also in YouTube. And also at the end, please don't forget to give us a feedback. Okay. And so today's agenda. So we will start with introduction of host and speaker, followed by discussion on and explanation on MuleSoft RPA and automating the process by Shravan Lingam. And after that, he will be presenting a demo, followed by QA session and networking. So myself, Srinivas Reddy Vaidugula, I'm a technical lead at Virtusa. I'm both MuleSoft Meetup leader and also MuleSoft mentor. I have overall 8 years of experience with 6 years in MuleSoft. So, Subhash, would you like to go ahead from here?
Yeah, so thanks, Srinivas. And thanks, guys, for joining. I know it's very late for some of you guys from India. My name is Subhas Roy. I have around 17 years of industry experience, and I'm working as a senior integration architect for Virtusa. And I'm also the same as Srinivas. I'm the meetup leader for Princeton Group and also Meetup mentor. Thank you. Yeah, go to the next slide. So this uh, this request we every like quarters we set up this meetup. So I want any of you are interested to speak or volunteer as a speaker, just let us know. You can contact us and send an email to us. We'll definitely organize. Okay. And about the MuleSoft community, like everybody, most of you are already aware. I think if you are from New York to the New York City, like I will be going to the Salesforce tour next month. And if you it is a free, there is no like you don't need to be a mentor or anything. You can just I'll share the deck where you can log into the salesforce.com world tour, New York City. Then you will be able to register, and you can directly register and you can attend in person also. And like these are about the MuleSoft community. Like we have the training.mulesoft.com where you can go if you are new. I think most of you are already aware of this one. I think so if you want to go, and now it is moved to I think Salesforce, right? And also we have help.mulesoft.com if any need any help of any of your issues or anything, or any one of you want to become a speaker, leader, or mentor, just let us know. Me, Srinivas, or Savan we can also nominate you for that. Okay, thank you. So Savan, there is up to you now. Is it?
Yep. Yep. Sure. Thanks, Subhash, and thanks, Srinivas, for giving me this opportunity to present. So this is my second session as a speaker with Princeton Group. Thank you one and all for joining. I see quite a few ambassadors and ambassadors, mentors, leaders. I know it's a odd time though, but we don't have any option because we are all occupied with our works. So I think this would be the best time for us to organize this event. People who don't know me, I am Shravan Lingam. I am working as a MuleSoft architect at Millennium Canada. I am also one of the MuleSoft leaders and ambassadors. I host Hyderabad and Toronto groups. And yes, I love to teach, so I write blogs. I wrote blogs, speak, and I'm a speaker and a trainer, and I'm owner of MuleSoft-TechZone. So this is about me. You can find my LinkedIn profile. If you want to connect with me, you can always feel free to reach out to me there. So this is a bit introduction about myself, and probably I think I can share my screen from here. Yeah.
Sure, sir.
So before getting started, guys, let me stop sharing my video for better internet. This thing. So before starting this session, I would like you to let you know that MuleSoft RPA, the RPA technology, the whole technology. Oh, Srinivas, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see.
Yeah, so this technology itself is quite new to me personally, RPA technology. So I started to explore. So in this session, I will try my best to give something which I learned. So we all learn from things. So if at all I'm not able to answer any of your questions, I'll try to answer you maybe later after this session. But yeah, this is something which I learned. I try to when I try to give this hyper automation certification, then I have gone through these RPA sessions by MuleSoft, and I tried to put some hands on. That's why today's session is all about MuleSoft RPA's build phase. So I'll show you what are the different phases in our life cycle. So, and I will be showing a small demo on how to RSVP to the MuleSoft meetups. So you all who have joined must have already gone through a process to register to this event. You might have opened Chrome, log into MuleSoft community, go to the event page, then RSVP to the event, right? So you have done all this process manually. You yourself have logged into the meetup group and then RSVP. So we are going to automate this process using MuleSoft RPA, and I'm going to show you the demo on it. But before going to this demo, let's understand what is MuleSoft RPA. Okay, so first, what is RPA? So right, many of the companies face this constant need of increasing the productivity between the employees and the competitiveness, digital competitiveness. But what is stopping them, right? The main thing that is stopping them is the time-consuming manual tasks, right? For other things, for digitalizations, we have APIs. We can, try to integrate the different systems, but what about the manual tasks? So these manual tasks are taking a lot of time, and also the ability of the employee to focus more on complex tasks. So to resolve this problem, this technology called RPA, I'm not talking about MuleSoft RPA, but the technology called RPA, robotic process automation, has emerged in early 2000s. So basically, the purpose of RPA is to automate this traditional manual task using a program called robot. Robot is not a machine here, so robot is program in RPA, right? And these robots, they are actually designed to imitate a human, right? Human user when carrying out their designated tasks. For example, that we call as process. So whatever imitation that I am telling before, you have logged in through the MuleSoft, meetup groups, then you have RSVP. All these things are carried by a human, right? But what if a robo is imitating a human when it is programmed? So that is called the process. So we are going to see what is that process over here, right? And what is process? So this process can be anything, right, that a human does manually. So it includes the interaction of the, like, interacting with open applications, extracting the data, or manipulating the mouse, keyboard, whatever you're typing. This is called as process. So by completing all this process, these bots, whatever we are talking about, have this ability to save the employee time and increase the efficiency of the repetitive task. I'm stressing this word repetitive task and human task because RPS basically are used to do the manual task or repetitive task that we cannot achieve that from APIs or something else, right? So because and by doing this, it will be faster and more reliable. We might do some mistakes in opening the URL or something like that, but once it is configured, a robot cannot do errors. So this is something about the process. And the common use case for this RPAs are, it can be like, as I said, data extraction. For example, many companies have their data stored in different systems, like in Salesforce, in PDFs, in CSV files. So leveraging this technology, such as RPA robots, can extract the data from one system, and it can be write to the another system or do whatever they want. And for example, there is another use case where, payroll processing. Every month, the HR teams, they spend hours manually processing the large quantities of data, right, in attempt to ensure every employee is receiving their pay appropriately. So RPA bots can actually save HR much of this time by automating the data entry kind of thing, or validating across multiple systems. So they do some validations, right? All that manual process can be done by RPAs. So if RPA is as great as it sounds, then why don't all companies implement it, right? It's a quite complicated question. So, but then why use RPA, MuleSoft RPA? How MuleSoft RPA is different from other RPA technologies? So MuleSoft RPA is basically designed by keeping the user in mind. Okay, user means like we humans, right? And it achieves by employing a single unified platform, which is called as RPA lifecycle. Just like we have API lifecycle in our MuleSoft Anypoint platform, we have something called like RPA lifecycle, which is a one-stop platform for RPAs, which is a unified platform. Just like we have, I'm just trying to compare with Anypoint platform, not because both are same, but I am trying to tell you about the phases, different phases of a life cycle here. So in Anypoint platform, we used to have like design phase, development phase, deploy phase, test, build, and manage, right? Same way here also we have different phases like develop, manage, and monitor. And we have something called, as we have Anypoint platform, we have something called as RPA manager. All right. So most importantly, this can be automated using clicks, but not by the code. So even a person who is not having a good coding skills, still he can automate the process without having the coding knowledge and all. So it will be more interesting. It took a lot of time for me when I started with RPA, but once you get used to it, it will be easy for you to do that. All right. So you can see this is the RPA lifecycle phases. So we start with the software installations. We have different types of softwares for designing, for deploying. So we will do that. And please note that RPA, whatever MuleSoft RPA we are having, it can be hosted only on Windows machine. If you are trying to if you are working on MacBooks and Linux systems, no, it doesn't work. So RPA currently is only valid for the Windows hosted machines. All right. So then we can do the access, user management, etc. in your RPA manager. Then there is a phase called evaluate phase. We need a reason to automate a process, isn't it? It's not that we just have a technology and we have to use it. For everything, it includes money for business, right? So we have to first ensure that why we are automating this process. Is it really needed to automate that process? For example, if a HR is having 5 employees in the company, you don't have to go with RPA and automate the process because you're spending a lot of money inside RPA. So we have to evaluate based upon the requirements. So we have cost analysis and all in the RPA manager. That is a different phase. Then comes the design phase. Like we have in when we are building any APIs, we used to design API specifications. Likewise, here also we have the design phase. And then build phase, which we are concentrating on today. Okay, we are going to concentrate only on the build phase. Build is like a development, we call. And then test, deploy, and manager. So today mostly we are will be considering the build phase. Okay, so this build phase comes after all these steps: software installation, user management, evaluate, design, and then comes to the build phase. So what is the build phase? So this is a phase where you can fill in the process with the instructions and functions. So you have to let know the robot or bots what you are going to do, what is the step-by-step action that you are taking, each step automated in the MuleSoft RPA Builder. RPA Builder is a tool that we use to build the bots. And no direct coding necessary, as I said, but without code, you cannot build RPAs, right? Bots. So there is some code, but it's most of like clicking. You feel like you are doing Adobe Photoshop. Okay, that's what I felt personally. And then drag and drop functionality, like we have it in our Anypoint platform, and then test easily from the builder to ensure it is working correctly. Just like we have test connections and all within Anypoint Studio, if you remember. So it is likewise. Okay, we can test each step how it is happening. Okay, so before going to our demo, I would like to recommend few things. So whenever you're working on a Windows machine, these are the configurations that is required to start with your RPA building. So now I'll be I will be changing my screen resolution. So you might be seeing very small icons, but I cannot do anything for that, guys. And so this is the recommended resolution, like 1920 into 1200 and 100%. All right. So before going to the demo, I would just like to see the chat how it is going. So if you have any questions, uh, please chat. Please post it in the chat. And I'm not going to view the chat because whenever we are in RPA, right, we have to make sure that no sudden pop-ups or cookies should be enabled, because we are capturing the screens basically, and any interruption will definitely affect the RPA bots. So that's the reason, like one of the, I don't say it cons, because we'll be hosting in a machines where we won't have any kind of such distractions. So before doing that, I would like to enable my video. Just wanted to let you know that I am not using my hands to show that demo first. So let me first quickly. So this is my RPA build flow. I will show step by step what I have done here. But before that, I wanted to give you a demo on what is happening here. So I will just run the bot here. So I'm going to, you can see my screen. It is waiting for the user task to start now. So this is a search string that I have added extra. Let me hide it. So my hands is like, so first step is opening the Chrome in incognito window. I have not done anything. It is done by the bot. Okay. Next, it is trying to find, okay. Sorry guys. I have done a mistake. If you have observed it, I have to stop the bot. Anyone can answer my question? Why it is interrupted?
Is this query string you given is not the right one?
No, the composer is just, it's a manual input task, but I haven't changed my screen resolution.
All right.
So that is my mistake. Good that I have done this mistake. So I have to first change it to 100%. Okay. My screen looks like this, but that's how RPA bots are usually when while coding, right? This is necessary. And now I'll go and close it. And you can see here, right? It is like failing at finding. So this step it is failing. Okay. So now let me run this again. That is just a different thing. So let it open the MuleSoft community. That is the first task we always do. Open that. Then click on the find a meetup near you. I am not clicking. It's just the machine which is doing. It is going to RPA video training. This is one of the sample meetup channel, and it is clicking on the view details. So it is checking whether. So you can see here, it is checking whether it is RSVP'd already or not, right? So it is not RSVP. Before doing that, we have to first log into our account. Then only we can know whether we are RSVPing or not. So I'm not doing anything. All right. So it will try to enter my email and then password. I will show you how they are configured inside a RPA bot. Robot is clicking on login, but you can see my already it is RSVP to this particular event. So it is cleaning up. So we don't have to do anything. That's where my RPA bot stops. Okay. So you can see the business process is finished here, because just because I have my uh, event RSVP'd already. Now what I'll do is I will un-RSVP for this event. Okay. Let's see how to RSVP that. So I will log out again. Okay. So this. So let me run the process again, RPA builder. So this is one step. Like if you have already log RSVP to the event, then this is how it will happen. It will stop the process. Now I have un-RSVP, so it should actually RSVP for the event. Same story, it will open the MuleSoft community page because I wanted to open that page and find for a meetup near me. Then go down, RPA video training, click on view details. Now still we have logged out, so we cannot know whether it is RSVP or not. That's the reason we are going to log into the MuleSoft community. So it is going to email, password. The reason for turning on my video is I wanted to tell that I am not the person who is doing this. So now you can see that it is not RSVP. So what it will do? Something interesting. RSVP for the event. I have added some sleep time to it. I'll tell you why. So as I have my details already, I am like the robot is searching like Control F, submit, and clicking on submit. Now you can see my RSVP is confirmed. Now I wanted to add into a Google Calendar. Okay. So here there is a step where yesterday the view has been changed. So this will not work. The Google Calendar thing. I'll show you. I'll stop it here because there were some things yesterday that I found out. So let me interrupt this. Okay. I'll explain you step by step what has happened. But this one particular thing, the Google thing, I wanted to change because yesterday when I was working on this demo, I saw some two interesting things. So new Gmail screen. This is what I added yesterday because yesterday when I opened Meetup screen, this is the page which was opened when I tried to click add to Google Calendar. Okay, this is the page that I saw. So I have reworked on this, but now all of a sudden the change, there is a change in the UI. So please note that any change in the UI will definitely reflect your, affect your robot in RPA process. So we have to make sure that, so that's why whenever we are working with external UIs, we have to make sure that the UI doesn't change. But intranet applications, whenever we are working with the within the company, right, like if there is a change in UI, you will be notified. So what I'll do is I know where it went wrong, so cancel. So these two actions I would try to disable it because sometimes I can also disable the actions there. Okay, so what I'll try to do again, go here, sorry, close all this. I will try to my tickets. I will try to un-RSVP the event. Just wanted to. So if you guys want to practice, you can always use this meetup, this particular meetup live demo on. Oops, this is not the one which I was looking forward to remove. Yeah, test event for RPA training. You can use this because MuleSoft has given one meetup for us to play around with, right? So good. Now I'll be logging out. So, and one more thing, here there are some cookies, right? We should always disable the cookies. Okay, if the cookies are popping up, then it will again affect on your capturing of the screens. Okay, so let me give one last chance for it to run again.
So now you are not importing the event into your calendar, is it, by
Not
disabling
yet,
those steps?
not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you why I disabled. That's why I didn't delete it. I will show you. I have purposefully included those two steps. I wanted to show you something. So again, the same process. I don't have to explain. It will go here. Click on view details. Then login. And it is always a best practice for each step. If you feel whenever we are moving from one page to another page, we know that then due to some internet, there might be chance due to some internet connectivity issues, it will be a bit slow. So it is always better to add some sleep time for each process step. Okay. So now it is going to RSVP again. So RSVP for the event. So it will click for the RSVP, and it is searching for submit button, SUBMIT, and then clicking on that. Alright, now it will add to the Google Calendar. So now here it should type my this thing. I'm not typing though. It will type my password. It might ask me a notification, so I'm keeping my mobile handy. Okay, it is already there. So I have done it till here, not the click save, because I will show up how to click. I can show you the last step how to do it. So you can see here it is going to the cleanup. Okay, so it is closed, and you can see it is coming to the cleanup step. So first thing first, I would like to check the chat. Is it interesting? There are some questions. I will answer username password things. So, do you feel that it is interesting that something, whatever the human task or manual task is getting automated, right? So, I will show you what I have done from start to end of the event. So before this, I told you this is the build phase. Not sure if I have access now to the manager. Give me 1 second. So we have something called RPA manager, right? That's what I'm talking about. So for every company who are partners with MuleSoft, you can request the access to your partner manager. They will provide you access to the RPA manager. So RPA manager is kind of Anypoint platform where so it's kind of a Anypoint platform for you know. Let me see if my password. Oops. Seriously. Okay. Make sure that okay, I will update my password immediately. So this is how our RPA manager looks like. Let me disable my video because my expressions would be very bad. So yeah. So this is how RPA managers looks like. We have different phases within this cell. Okay. So you have your backlogs whenever you wanted to start, but there is something called process evaluation. Okay, evaluation criteria. This is what I was talking about initially. Like you know, uh, you will have all the things that I wanted not to discuss about this, but you can just create it some test, and if you click on OK, so you have this page where you can set up, you can say like manual processing time. Now for example, this registering for the event will take 1 minute, okay, of time. You can mention your time like 0001 and how much it costs. I know that no one will go with RSVP for the event, no one will go for automating this process, but if there is any process, for example, an HR takes, like, for payroll things, she takes 10 minutes for one employee, one employee to do the process. And let's say like it costs $20, okay, per process for her. And what is the frequency, how frequent she does, like bi-weekly, so 2 times. So you can mention all those stuff, and then you can have this qualifiers if you think like what is the stability, nature of work and all. And this is the process matrix. So if your process matrix is in this gray red area, then it is saying that it is not recommending you to automate the process because it will not give you benefit. But based upon your like output quality, if you just move around, play around with this x-axis and y-axis based upon your nature of work and all, for example, you can see slowly it started moving to the green space. So then you can analyze. So this is a way of analyzing whether you wanted to go ahead with uh, automating the process or not. I'm not going into deep into these things, but I'm just showing like based on this evaluation criteria you can start with your things. So once it is done, yes, designing phase is a different thing, but when it comes to RPA builder, we will connect to the RPA manager from here. That's how I have connected, if you see here, right? So once it is done, every bot or every RPA process has a start and end event, just like we have source and process. In our Anypoint Studio, we have something called start and end events. So that will start with create start event with light circle and a solid circle for create end event. Okay, and for each thing we have this is called user task and all. I will start from here. So I have added this, like you must have seen, I have there is a pop-up like for meetup search string and all. If at all you feel like you want to, so currently I am only registering for the RPA event, right? But if you have a scenario where a user or a user has to provide the input, like for example he wants to RSVP for composer event. So this particular thing I have added just in case, if you want to give some string, but this is not being used anywhere in our flow. Okay, so ignore it for now. So our thing started from here, open Chrome. So here you can see, so this is how it looks. Okay, I told like drag and drop things and clicks but not code, right? This is how it looks. So for every process, every bot process, you can see this setting symbol, right? This one, this is a bot task. For every bot task we have like workflow initialization, then activity workflow, and workflow finalization. And someone asked me some question, where did you get username and password? We have this option to set activity parameters. Okay, if you see here, and we call activity parameters, you have to define few things here already. Okay, for example, community login, I am using my email and password is encrypted over here. You won't be able to see your password. Okay, so it is already encrypted. And if there are any already as RSVP'd or not, you must have seen for the first time when we have run this RPA bot, the event was already RSVP. So such cases, whenever you have this icon, can you see here the icon? This is called exclusive gateway. So for this true or false things, you need some active Boolean functions, right? So based upon that, if it is RSVP, it will go to the cleanup stage. If it is not RSVP, it will go to here. And for any search string, as you can see, we have seen this composer thing and the starting point. So you can add various activity parameters which are of like different. For example, if I click on add new activity parameter, it will ask these many things, like if you want to add coordinates, you need to add Boolean variable, or if you want to add some credentials, you can add here. Okay, so I have two credentials, one for meetup group, meetup website, and the other one for Google login. So my passwords are stored here to answer the question. Okay, so now first thing is we have to open. So first thing is we have to open Chrome. How can we open Chrome just like that, right? You have to make sure that your Chrome is already installed in your uh, system. So where is my Chrome installed? We have to know that first, right? You have to know all these things before you start your uh, RPA bots. So it would be something where like program files, I think I can see it from here. So there is Chrome, but what is this connector, right? Run program is the connector. I call it as connector because it is easy for me to relate it between MuleSoft and RPA. So RPA program is a connector which I dragged and dropped, and if I open it, you can see my application, Chrome application in this is in this part. Okay, you have to put your application. For example, if you want to open Anypoint Studio, right, you have to first go ahead and see where Anypoint Studio is installed, and then you can do that, right? And what I'm asking it to do, I'm saying like, so this run program is nothing but our Windows R thingy. Okay, for example, I have this command which I am going to run. If I click on OK, this will do the same thing. So this is manual process. To automate it, I am including those commands in the parameters. So this parameters is nothing but you are using this, whatever you are passing it in the run command, it will run it. And the file name is what you are running the application. So it will run this chrome.exe. This is the first step. Okay, that is fine. But when I open, sometimes it will not open in a full screen, right? It can be opened in a minimized mode. In that case, what I am trying is, whenever it is open, it will try. So you can see these are the keystrokes. So there is another connector called keystrokes. You will feel like Photoshop thingy. Okay, so where is keystrokes? It's, yeah, keystrokes here. So keystrokes is nothing but whenever you are opening here, for example, I wanted to show, I will show you in the another example, but what it will do is, let me do one thing. Let me copy this. see if I can paste it. So I will drag and drop a RPA bot just for testing purpose. Okay, so let me put these two. Okay. So this I will go here. So I can just, you can copy paste the tasks also. That is also one of the easiest method. So here, so I can test one by one. I can test one by one bot here. That's what I have mentioned in the slide, right? If I click on run button here, not here, this will run the whole process. But if I click here, what it will do is it will run only these two tasks. But I don't want to run the two tasks. I want to go one by one. So let me disable this. So it will only just open the Chrome. So if I run, it will open and it will come back to the screen, but it is already open. Now that because my incognito window is already open, I will just close it. Now you will know the difference between the previous step and now. Okay. It is opening. So now next step I wanted is like to open the Chrome in the Windows full screen. For example, if it is something like this, okay, when it opens, sometimes it will be like this. Okay. Now I wanted to open that. Let me enable this. And what does this keystroke does? I will delete all the things here. Okay. Now, if I click on start, this is something you are coding. This is called coding here. Okay. If you click on start, it will start recording. Okay. I click on start. I am clicking on this and I will complete F10. I'll keep F10. Oops. What happened? Give me 1 second. Okay. So click on start. Oh, what happened? F10. It should actually show here. I'm not sure why it is showing this, but usually whenever you have seen earlier, right, it will say like left window down, up and then up. So whatever clicks you are doing, it will show that thing. Okay. So let me try one more time. It should work. Start without deleting then. Interesting. It's not recording. Anyways, so that is what it is actually used to do. I will figure out why it is not giving. So let me delete this one. So that is the first step that I was doing in this particular RPA bot. What is the next step? Right? Next step, you can see more. There are more than like 10 steps over here, each process. Okay. So the first thing what I am doing is I am finding a meet. So this is my target. I need to click on this icon, right? That is my next target. So to do that, how should RPA bot know? How can it know that I have to click this event, right? Again, building the RPA bots is by humans, but it is one-time build, right? So for that, what I'm doing is I am using one of the image search operator here, or the connector, whatever you call. If I double click it, I have done this already. So let me put again like one more bot here for testing purpose. So let me capture the screen. So image search, I will add the image search. So what I'm trying to do is search for find meetups. This is like thing, and I will start from the scratch over here. So if I click on start from scratch, now what I wanted to do is I can zoom over this and I wanted to just find the word find. Okay, not the whole screen. Whenever you are working with RPAs, you should always make sure that you are using limited number of characters. Okay, because if you search for whole thing, generally it is not a best practice because it will try to fluctuate the images and all. So always better to search for one keyword that is unique. You should find the unique one. Okay, meetup, I can go with meetup, but there are like many meetups in this. It can be like there will be many meetups in this page, right? So I'm going with something called like find. Okay, I'm going like this. I have to double click. Okay, now when I double clicked, you will see a red color box here. So now it is asking that you have to capture the screen here, so which select the search area. Now that you are searching for find keyword, which is fine, but what if there is a find over here, find keyword over here? So what I will do, I won't select that area. I'll say like whenever you are opening, just search for this particular area. This is fine for me, and search a find in that and click on capture. Perfect. So if you go back to the code, you can see, and always this image search settings, right? It will show 95% by default, but the best number for capturing this resolution is always 84, between 80 and 84. Okay, and you can also click on like wait until the image is steady. Now that you have captured, you have to know, you can test it whether it is actually working fine or not. That is called check search here. So if I just click on it, it is giving me again 100%. That means it has captured my screen. So now if I open, you can see my screen is captured, so it will look in this area to find the thing. This one step. Yeah, someone is having a question.
Shravan, one question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between using this image search
Mhm.
and there is a click app element
Click app element on where, sorry?
in
I will.
the app automation? Oh
You are
no,
saying
sorry,
in
that's
the
for the
this one,
app, right? So there should be one on the web,
this one,
and
right? You are talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what. Yeah. So that is our next step. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now that you found an image with find, the next step is to click this. Correct. So
Yeah,
without finding an image, we cannot click. So our next step, you got our point. Click cap element. That is what we are going to drag and drop, or mouse action. It is actually mouse actions, okay, not the click cap element that we are using. So again, we can also do it by click cap element, I'm not sure, but I started exploring things, and
hmm,
this is how I found out that we can do this. Okay, so
perfect.
what I will do is click on find me. All right, so now again, guys, wherever you have stopped, you have to stay in that place. Okay, because whenever I'm clicking on start, it should actually go to this page. But what if I'm searching for here, like program files? This is wrong. So you have to close all the windows. It needs a lot of patience, to be honest, when you're working with RPA. So click on start. Okay. Can you see here? Automatically, it is giving me a hint here, correct? So I will click one left. You can show it say, and once it is completed, you can press F10. Somehow, okay, yeah, can you see here, mouse action is I am clicking a left click action. Okay, it is done, but I wanted to test this, right? These two things. Now what I can do, I can run these two things again. Okay, so I will just run it. Can you see I haven't clicked anything? It is through the process. So I will go back again. If you want me to run it again, I will show you. So it is first searching for the find word and then clicking. Everyone clear on this part so far? Let me check. Right?
So you
So,
want to put a sleep to make sure that it's
yes,
searching first and
correct.
probably it is clicking next.
Yeah. So here we can add always the sleep time. Okay. For now, like I will show you what I have. I cannot go like each step because it is time consuming, but you can see here, right? We have sleep for 2 seconds. So there is a thing called sleep wizard where you can add your milliseconds to it. Okay, so because it's true, like whenever we are clicking, my internet is very speed, like it is opening quickly, but what if it is taking time? It's not just with the internet. What if MuleSoft Meetups host, the server itself is slow to move from one window to another window, correct? So next thing, i have I know that I wanted to RSVP for the RSV video exercise, but can you see here, when I open this page, I'm not able to see that RSVP thing, but I am doing something like I'm scrolling down. Each step is very critical here. You need to, be very careful. So that's the reason design phase is there. You have to document everything. I'm not just doing like here. Okay, I have to scroll down, and I saw like RP. There are many other ways. You can do control F thingy and all. Okay, but for this particular demo, we have used this thing. Okay, scroll down a bit and select this. So for scrolling down, this is where, so you can see, right? Where is this? Yeah. So what we are doing is here, wait for a new web page to load, then scroll down. Okay. So that's what here it is happening. So this scroll down, if you see, wheel down, because when I was like testing things, I just because I cannot use this mouse keypad, so I have to click this. So I clicked, left click and wheel down. This is how it went down. So if I go back again this place, if I run this particular run, that's what it will happen. So it will go to find meetup. Immediately you can see it is scrolling wheeled up, and then it is clicking on RSVP. So again, to click on, okay, it will start. Okay, hold on, I have to stop it because the bot is searching for things. Okay, so let me go back. So this again, clicking off RPA, again the same process. We have to find for the image. I'm not going to show you again. So it is finding for the image RPA. So here you can see which part I wanted to capture, and here it is RPA. So I can just, let me see if I am this page. Yeah, I can just go ahead and check the search. Okay, so it is finding the RPA keyword, and next thing is to click on RPA video training, and then wait for the web page again, like to scroll. So when I click on this, okay, I'm waiting for the web page. The next thing is I need to click on view details here, but see here my page is like this, so I have to do again like wheel down, right? So that's what it is happening over here. Click and wheel down. Okay, once it is done, it has to click on view details. So again, whenever we are clicking, we need to find the image, okay, here, and then click on it and sleep. Okay, this one. So once this is done, find a meetup your you. I'm not having anything in this page, so I can just delete it. Because, so guys, this is like creating flows and subflows. If you want to put everything in one bot, you can put it like Chrome, then open Chrome window. You can put all these steps within this flow itself. It's like creating one single flow. But we always do some best practices, right? If at all I wanted to test something while doing some test, I cannot go ahead and do all this stuff again and again. So if I have individual bots, it will be easy for me to test things. And also if something is breaking once it is going into production, it is easy for us to fix in this particular place. Okay, so I don't have anything here. I can delete this, or I can, so to delete this, just single click on this and then delete the button. So these are bot tasks. Then log into the community. So this is where an interesting thing comes, right? Now I have to search for the login button. So it is always good, you, if you know that login button is there just beside this magnifier. So in the demo we have tried to show what are the different kinds of connectors that we can use, but it is always up to you what is the best way to automate the process. For me, always the best place is like click on Control F, search for login. Okay, but it is not showing login here because this is kind of a image, not the text. I can search for organizer. No, because it is a button and it is a text. But if you see RPA, you have multiple things like so. But now the only way that I can use to click on this login is I have to search for this magnifier. So this is the combination of two searches, match all patterns. So I am matching the pattern of search and log, both things. Okay. And which area I want to select? I wanted to select only the top area. You can see that what we have done, right? So this is another way of search pattern. Okay, we can search with two patterns, like you want the magnifier and login button both. Then only it will select this. So once the search pattern is done, so I can probably, I think I can test it if I'm not wrong. So my search is successful, and it is saying like it valid 2 by 2 matches because it, can you see the results of this? Okay, it is it has captured my this magnifier glass and log. I don't even want to go till login. Log is enough for me. So if you keep as minimum as possible, but make sure that when you are minimizing these things, it should also replicate, you know, the words like login. Okay, so these two patterns are successful, so I'm going with this. So once it is done, then clicking login button. Clear? And whenever you are clicking something, right, here there is option called relative to. Okay, let me show in the next screen. So relative to, so relative to what you want to click is, it will appear over here, find coordinate. Okay, any image. For example, now that I have clicked on login screen, our next step is, it is coming something like this. Now I have to enter email and password. Again, to do manually, I am clicking on this and then this. There are two things, but it is not easy when we are trying to automate this process. So we have to check for the email button. Check means search pattern. Again, same thing, same story. So if I click on search, because it is already done, you can see I have clicked on this email, I have searched for this. Okay, if I am clicking on here this place, it will, we are able to type something, correct, like this. So next option is click on email and relative to the email coordination. So you can see there is search for magnifier thing, but there is also search for email. So we have to always make sure that the relative clicks are to that particular image, right? Now click on email is fine. Next, what is this connector? The new connector you are seeing is keystrokes. Now, for example, sometimes it is already like this. Okay, we need to delete it. What is the normal step that we do? We do Control Alt Delete. This is what we usually do when we have something. So we are making sure, just making sure that select and erase the text in the field. And when I have done this thing, you can say Control A. Okay, then delete. This is what it is doing. All right. So then here comes the picture. So community user is one of, so user account decryption. This is the thing which you need to use to decrypt your passwords. Okay. So community user, if you see here, it is saying like activity, it will show all activity parameters, and there is only one login, like community login here. So I'm clicking on OK, so that it will pick the values from there. So it will take the username from there. Once it is done, you can see again come, it will end. So if you, this has nothing to do the process. We are just mentioning that community. So to enter the email, you have to drag and drop this community user. So then you will enter the email. Input string is, it is taking the username from community user login. Okay, next, likewise it will search for the password area. Then it will click on the password to delete all the stuff, and then select and erase, and then enter the password, right? So now from where can we start this particular bot to test it? Search for the magnifier. So I have to go back. So here, from here itself, it is trying to log in, right? So now I will run this particular bot here. So what it is doing, it is clicking on login. Now it is clicking on that email. Control Alt Delete. There is no text, so it is deleted, but it is typing email ID and password, and then it will click on login. Okay, so this is the process. Again, to click even the login button, we have something here. Oh, it's still going. Sorry, there are some other things also. So let me interrupt. So what, even for login, you have to find the login button, which is here. I know it is very small for you guys, but so login button here, it is searching for the image, and relative to that, we are doing a click. You can see find login button. I am clicking on the relative thing, and confirm login is like whether it is logged in or not. If a login page appears, it should be something like that. This is what we are seeing. Okay, is it interesting? Do we have to change our RPA program for any or? Yes, definitely. I'll show you one small example. Good question. Let me see. So I have recorded something. Okay. Yeah. So this, can you see, this is a demo which I have recorded when I started. Just in case if any new UI changes appears during giving the demo. So I have recorded it already. So this is how it goes, like login and all. This is the same process. Actually today it's back, but if there is any change in between these things, just for example, there is no RPA training, for example, right? That will stop. So we have to make sure that whenever we are working in real-time scenarios, we have to work with the UI teams and all, and make sure that there are no changes, or if there are any changes, they have to let you know before those changes, so that you guys will be start working on those changes. And it's not just about, so why we are doing this? Why can't we use APIs for this thing? One quick question you can answer. So this is the same thing which I've shown, so I won't show it again. One quick answer I want: can we log in to Facebook account using an API, or can we log in to LinkedIn using an API? Yes or no? Yes, I see one yes. Okay, we do we can log in through APIs, because Facebook or Meta or LinkedIn, they all expose a developer portal where you can access their APIs to log in or to perform some activities. You can even post through LinkedIn using APIs. Okay, but why not MuleSoft Meetups page? Because MuleSoft hasn't come with any API to log in. So someone has to expose the API to do some functionalities, right? But there is no functionality here. That's the reason we are automating the process. But you cannot use the same RPA bot to go on LinkedIn and do stuff. I can do that as well, right? For example, so this demo is more or less the same. Give me 1 second. I need to close this. Yeah. So I'll just complete this thing and I will show you something else. So this is done, and next MuleSoft community. So check if it is already RSVP'd or not. So it is looking for unRSVP. If there is unRSVP, then you have to set the value. So here there is some action, right? Set variable. So when you see it is unRSVP'd, so let me go to my this thing, view details. Okay, now there is unRSVP here. Okay, so it will check for that whether it is unRSVP. So if I do test, it is success, because it is there is unRSVP. So what you are doing is you are setting a variable, just like our set variables. You are setting a variable to true. That means if the value is true, actually this should be here, like it will go to cleanup. If it is false, this true has to be like here. Sorry for that. If it is false, it will go to RSVP. It is asking actually to do RSVP. Clear? So that is the use of these variables, which is very important. Gateways are very important because we have always yes or no things, right? Whether you want to do or not. In our case, if I just run this, what will happen is it will see for another SVP and see, like, this thing is done. What if it is not, right? It will go to this and search for again same searching things. RSVP, it will search. Then, like, I am doing like control F. You remember it was searching for control F submit button because I have already my details there. So control F submit, it will go there and search for submit, and then click on submit button. This is on click and clear. This is one thing. And coming back to this thing. So what next I will do is I will show you small demo on.
Shravan, one question.
So let me copy these two. This time I would like to log in to, let me delete them. Let me delete this. Now let me paste this. Oops. Right click, copy, go here and paste. Okay. Now I will run something like www.linkedin.com. Okay, let me do that. Okay, I'm saving it. So let me run this. Can you see? It is opening linkedin.com. The next thing what I need to do is to sign in, right? This is our thing. So to do that, I need to do something like email, password and stuff. Okay, let me try to do that. If so, for to do that email thingy, so we can just go and check what we have done. We can copy paste. So click on email, select these three areas. Let me copy. I can change that. So here, paste it. Click on email. So for that, before we need, okay, this I need to scroll up because, so email. So if I do the check search here, oh, interestingly, it is passing because both are same, which is good. Now our work is done. Next, click on email. Let me try. Let me try if it is works. Let me try if it works and enter erase the fix. Let me run this. Nice, it is working. So what I can do is, next thing, go to this, select community user and enter the email, these two stuffs, right? If I go here, this one, okay. So let me make sure that I'm using the correct community. Hmm,
So it's activity parameters that need to be added.
it works. Community user is not mapped correctly. I'm not sure if I have added
You need to add it in the activity parameters.
user activity parameter. So I need to basically add the activity parameter at this stage. Let me check if I am having the activity parameter. Let me add LinkedIn wala. So this is login credentials. So this is this icon. So let me search for add account variables. So let me say like it's as LinkedIn, username as okay. Okay. So then let me see if I can do that. Let me delete this first. It's okay. Where's the usually it should come by some
I think you need to add it in the activity params.
cannot be set none. Please select the user account before continue. Somehow it is not dropping. Basically, it should come. Probably it will come during the starting, but when we are designing it, but it should show something like if you see here, it will community will show you your activities parameters like community login. It should show like this. I'm not sure
Shra-
why it is because of some error or something.
Shravan, I think you need to add it in the parameters.
Basically it
Newly
should show,
created.
actually show how to enter the things.
Mm,
if
If
not
you
if not what I can do is for now
hard code it,
delete it,
you can
keyboard
hard.
enter email. So what I'll do is I will delete this one as well, so I can use my keystrokes. The not keystrokes, what is the other one, to type to enter string. I think it's the enter string. Mm-mm-mm. Nope. One second, I have used it somewhere else. Select an array strings. Is this the one? No, this is new to me as well. Input
Shravan,
string.
if you go into the workflow initialization, right? Shravan, can you hear me?
Let's run it once again.
Shravan, can you hear us? Sudhir is
Let me see if it is actually running.
Shravan.
So you see it is automatically entering my email ID because of this. Actually, we have to go with the community this thing. I will check out why it is not working, but this is how. Again, next thing you have to search for the password. So what I'll do is your can you hear me? Is someone asking me the
Yeah,
question?
yeah. Can you hear us?
Okay. So if I go to this, okay, image search, let me go down. So now what I can do is I can start from scratch. This, oh, can you see here? We should not be, so before doing this, we should not be in this page. So I will cancel it. I have to be in this page. This is where we should start. And then I am searching for like password. Guys, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
We can. Can you hear us?
We can. Can you hear us? No. Oh, sorry. Oh, my RPA has done. Can you talk now, Sudhir? Sorry.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Actually, one of the RPA bot might have clicked on this icon. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Now, if you go onto the workflow initialization, right, there you need to add the activity parameters.
Sorry, where it is?
In scroll up in your workflow here and in the
Yeah,
down canvas.
down
Yeah,
canvas.
yeah. If you
Yeah,
scroll up,
yeah.
activity parameters,
Oh, here, right?
there
Yeah,
you
I
need to
did.
add all. Yeah, otherwise they
My
won't.
yeah, my bad, my bad.
I was about to
Yeah,
tell you.
I'm
Sorry, we
so
were not
sorry.
able to
I
have.
was
Yeah,
I was on the flow. Sorry.
yeah. No
Yeah,
issues.
yeah. So maybe we can use from here, but my password is different, so I'll go with the image search now again. So let me so where I was there. Here. Yeah, here. So scratch from scratch. So I will. This is the pain part, guys, but you need to have a lot of patience. You need to have a mouse first. I am using keypad, so it is like taking time. But
No, you need password, not forgot one.
oh, my bad. Here. Thanks for correction. This one. This double click is will take time. F10 is not working on mine. I don't know why. Hmm. Yeah, now search area, what I can do is I can take only you can actually capture the full screen, but you can see password. I have forgot password also, so I don't want to select that area. I'll say like just to capture this screen. And coming back to here, I will reduce my resolution thingy here and just check search. It is there, it is working fine. Now once it is done, what I would like to do is I want to click on the mouse actions here and select the relative thing, so it is already there here, which is fine. So click on start, so like this, and click on F10. So I will click on this. Next what I'll do is I will copy paste this. For now I am going, I can actually go with coordinates, but I'm not sure if the password is different. Delete it. Password descriptor. Now I think it will go to the activity page. Thanks for Sudhir, that one. So LinkedIn, click on OK. Let me add my password here quickly. LinkedIn, and where is the password here option? Settings. It should actually show both the password.
It should show both.
Yeah. Oh, it should. It is here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my password. I am clicking on OK. Then after this user descriptor, what we can do is, so I will just see what I have done here. So select the area, blah blah blah, which is like this, which is not required. Enter the email, click on the password. Okay, and select the area and just enter the password. Here I am using the community user password. So I'll go here, the same thing. So what is this? Enter the string here. Double click on it. User. Is it the same? Enter the string. 1 second. Enter the password. It is a enter password thing. Okay. So it should be input string somehow. Okay. It
So
should
you need to
show up.
change it to the LinkedIn password now.
Yeah, I mean from here actually input string is something where I was
No,
checking.
if you cancel this and then the pin icon.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So activity parameters. Mm-mm-mm.
It's in the user account descriptor.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Here it is. Password and window title not required, isn't it?
not required. I don't think so.
Yeah. So let me click OK. So let me see if yeah. So perfect. So this one, but which password is the question here? Let's give it a try. Yep. So This is fine. So next step would be like searching for the sign in button and click on it. So I will do very quickly. Image search again, down to start from scratch. You have to be here. I will quickly do this. So make sure you are clicking on that zoom unless and unless. So this, I'll just use sign only. Sign in is not required. Yeah. Let me just use sign in and just double click. Capture area. I will capture only this area. So capture. I will just retest. Check search. Okay, this is fine, and then I will click on the mouse actions corresponding to that image search one. So image search one, which is fine. Start. So I will click on this and I will do F10. So click on OK. Let me log out from this again and let's retest it. Right. So this is automating to log into LinkedIn account. Yep. So we have logged in using RPA process, right? So this is how you can basically use RPAs to do that. So I have a couple of questions like someone asked, can we do that PDFs? Yes, there is a lot to learn in RPA, guys. This is what something I have learned just, uh, from what I have took the training I have taken. But there are a lot of things that you can explore. I saw there are quite a lot of connectors here when you're processing with documents or Excel operations, all this stuff, copying the files and all. You can extract the images if you filter it by images, image search, extract images from PDF, right? There is a separate connect. If you have any option where you want to extract the images from a PDF, you can do that. So you can try to explore more because RPA is not a small technology. It requires more patience to learn, and there is a lot to learn. So this is just a start to let the community know like how MuleSoft RPA is different from other RPA technologies. You might have seen there are no codes. It's all about like clicks and capturing the screens. So this is what I wanted to show you a demo. Hope you have liked it. If you have any questions.
If you go back to the canvas, please,
Yep.
Shravan.
Yep.
So if you clear the image
Palettes.
one
Okay. Yep.
palette, yeah.
Yep.
So if you scroll down,
Mm-hmm. We have error handlings also with this.
no, I was talking about if you keep scrolling down.
Yep.
So you have web automation, right? So whatever you are trying to do a lot on image search, right? You could
Yeah.
use the web
Got
automation, um, the click on the web element, right? So the
So
click on web element, it can be a text box or it can be a button.
okay.
So you
So
could,
that
yeah, you
has to
could do,
be
correct. You could do more away from
yeah,
whatever you are trying to do
you are
image
doing.
search and all,
Yes.
right? So you
Correct.
could use
Correct.
these elements with,
Yeah.
this is like a wrapper on top of lot of
Correct.
searches,
Search
input
is
strings, keystrokes you're doing.
got it.
They are clubbed into one component in here. So this is
Correct.
why very
So
useful when you're
where
doing.
can we place this? Do you have any idea? Because I'm not able to place it in activity workflow.
No, so it can't be. So it has to
Yeah.
be a web flow.
Webflow. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Got it.
app is the one where you are like loading a an exe app onto the desktop. So it's a
Correct.
desktop app.
Correct.
So
Correct.
web is the automation where you can use lot of. So it's basically what it's doing is it's opening up in an inspect mode, and
Yeah.
it's taking all the XML parts
Yeah.
and then using it as a query string and passing it on. So
Yeah.
you know the XML document structure, which
Correct. Yeah.
element you are reading. So it's all
Correct.
doing that.
Got it. Yeah. So this is all from, so this, as I said, like this technology, whatever demo I have seen, I have
Hmm.
learned from our official MuleSoft training and I started
Perfect.
there. Yeah. So just wanted to tell people like, this is what you can start with, where you can start with. And there are many things. Guys, one more thing. You can observe that I am manually actually running this program. Again, there is a manual involvement, right? There should be a question like why. There is again a manual involvement, right? So once there are many things, once this bot is developed, you can put it into a production, you can run it as a bot. But also, if there is any requirement where you have to run a process, RPA process, through your MuleSoft flow, we have some connectors in, I think we do have, if I'm not wrong. So Salesforce MuleSoft Composer, we do have it already, but let me quickly check the connectors. So we do have connectors for RPA. Give me one second. I wanted to show that. I think we must be having something in Exchange. I can change my resolution now. Back to so RPA. So there are some, actually there are some templates, there are some connectors as well, where you can invoke those connectors. And for example, in our flow, you can keep a connector like start connector, a listener, and then we can have a RPA connector where you can kickstart the bot. Okay, that can also be done, and it can also be invoked using MuleSoft Composer flows. So there are many such things there. All right. So let me go back to the chat. Can you trigger? Yeah, that's the answer that I have given. Sandeep, you can trigger it by API using the RPA connectors. All right. Any questions so far? As I said, like I am just learning, so I wanted to give a demo so that I want to pass this uh, thing so that you guys can start exploring. Because when we give some demo, right, it will be more interesting. You will get to know what kind of, most of them they think like MuleSoft RPA is something related to like flows, coding, data web things. No, it's something totally different, right? MuleSoft just acquired RPA, one of the RPA's technologies, but this is entirely different process there. Any questions so far? If not, we can go with the networking. We can enable you all as hosts. Srinivas and Subhash, can you do that for me?
Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
stop.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll
So
stop the
one
record.
question, Shravan, I have, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
So,
sure. Go ahead.
so initially we say to the bot that open up a specific browser, right?
Correct, correct,
And all of the elements are attached to that browser. So suppose you have used Chrome in there. So if
correct.
I change it to an Internet Explorer or
Yes,
any other Firefox or something, the
yeah,
rest of the code or the flow
yes.
won't work.
It won't work because it has changes in. Let us try. Yeah, good
Yeah,
question.
yeah. So that's quite interesting because if you change the the program you're trying to run, so your Internet Explorer you're running with
Yeah,
Chrome extension.
yeah. No, I
Okay.
changed the extension here, but I'm just checking if it can be opened to the parameters. This one. Let me remove
So if you give a different browser there, would
this one
your
here.
no, yeah, instead of that Internet Explorer, the file
I
name.
actually I have only Internet
Ah, okay.
Explorer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I
That's a
think
good.
yeah, that I can check. But I am thinking, for example, if Internet Explorer has the same place, like I definitely think, because if I click on Microsoft Edge or somewhere,
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
the UI changes, right? The way
Yeah,
it looks, the positions changes. So I
correct.
definitely think that we have to rework on that for sure.
But as long as I think the
If you are using
search area is a full page, it can. But if you have
Mac.
already selected a specific area, then it might not.
So what we can do is I can just quickly do this. So here I can set I can do this search area, right? So what I can do is I can disable this.
No, no, that's all fine. If you just change that instead of Chrome.exe, just make it
No,
as
it's
Internet
it's
Explorer.
It is not actually opening. Let me check. So programs, Internet Explorer.
Yeah,
I think this is the one.
yeah,
Okay, test it. Okay, it is opening, so which is
yeah.
good. 1 second. This is the first time I'm opening Internet Explorer on my system. Okay, so let's see if it is doing so. Okay. Okay, it is
It,
actually
it,
opening, this one. So what I can do here is, first let me stop this. This is where actually it went muted when I try to stop. What I can do is now www.mulesoft-community. I will start from here because
that you can give it in the launch parameter, right? Which one you want to.
it is already there, right? www.linkedin.com. Here,
Hmm.
if you see, the launch
Yeah,
is already there. So what I can do is I can test here itself, like check search. First, I think I should change my resolution to
yeah.
this one 100%. So proceed, and then I can test it here itself. Like if it's giving this thing, then it is valid. Yeah, it is giving. So as long as this search area and the things are not changing, I think it should be good.
So this works well, but if I use the web component, right, they don't,
Oh,
because it's taking the XPath, um,
oh, got you,
and
got
the
you.
UI element is built in on a different web browser. So
Yeah.
sometimes they don't work because I tried it, I struggled.
I
And
got it.
also, if you have cached the username and password, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Sometimes when you use the web component, it doesn't enter because it already thinks that the value is already
Oh,
populated,
oh.
pre-populated.
I have to actually explore the web element, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. I'm just trying to check the remaining things.
sure.
Yeah, I think it is working. Yeah, it is
Perfect.
working with Internet Explorer. Yeah. Because
So
we are
this is
actually
good.
trying to manipulate, yeah, because we are doing lot of kind of, actually we are taking like search patterns, right? More,
Yeah.
we are using more search patterns, so it is working. So, and
So
the
this
search
is a
patterns, they have a, yeah,
rendered web page. You are only doing like an image search,
correct,
whereas
correct.
web is doing it is
XPath
going
things.
into XPath
Correct,
and then it's trying to find, whereas
yeah,
browsers renders the XPaths differently. Yeah,
correct, yeah.
I get it. Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Maybe it has some pros and cons as well, so
Yeah,
we just need to explore more. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
thanks for this thought. I didn't get that thought, but yeah, thanks for this. Yeah, any questions?
I make everyone host so they can
Yeah.
unmute themselves, and if any questions, anything, you can
Any
ask.
related to
I think
communities,
a lot of
guys? One more thing, very important question. You might be thinking like, we are not going to have the trivia quiz. We can have trivia quiz, but you are not going to have watches. Sorry for that. Hey, Francis.
Hiya, it's late
Hi,
night here.
Francis. I know, and guys, you must know Francis. You must be seeing him in most of the MuleSoft meetups. Very active ambassador. Thanks, Francis, for joining here.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's a very good presentation.
Thank you, Francis. Yeah. Anyone, any questions? Or you can feel free to talk about general things as well. Networking time.
See, the challenge I have seen, right? If we have more steps within the workflows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to add in the activity parameters in the initialization of every single step. Otherwise, they wouldn't be visible. Some
Correct.
activity parameters are like you can say a global scope. Some
Mm-hmm.
are specific within
To
the workflow step.
correct.
So if
Yeah.
you don't add it, so that was a common mistake I did. Like I was
Yeah.
like
Here,
scratching
right?
my head, like yeah, why
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
didn't come? Like why I'm saying see, not seeing any of the parameters which I have added.
Maybe I would actually recommend MuleSoft to change this view from here and put it somewhere here so that
Yeah,
people eyes can go here and okay, I didn't forget that thing, right?
because I was looking to the whole documentation and it just
Yeah.
says the activity parameter. It doesn't talk about
Correct.
how to add it in each
Yeah.
step.
I know.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite a fun for me.
Yeah. Initially, guys, it took 1 week for me when I was like trying to learn things. It took 1 week for me to do all these steps, but later I got habituated and I was doing repeatedly these things, and I got habituated with this. It's like more kind of a Photoshop because I was using more kind of search patterns and all to do this stuff. And I need to explore a lot of things. So next time probably I will come up with a different demo, like probably like exploring with Excel sheets and all. That would be more
Hmm.
interesting as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be. Because the
yeah,
thing is, this works well
yeah.
for one specific action. So
Action.
suppose if
Correct.
you read like 1,000 records from Excel,
Correct.
how would you process them individually? Because there is
Yep.
no like a JMS or a placeholder somewhere you store all the
Yep.
records and read back, right?
Correct.
So there is
Correct.
no intermittent queuing, where,
Yes.
where I have not seen. How
What
would
I
this?
feel is like so that
Hmm.
usually we will build the flows or a process out of RPA, and wherever the manual process we are having, we will put it invoke it in the API flows, and the output like doing kind of a batch processing. Like for
Hmm.
example, we are processing the records one by one,
Hmm.
call the bot, so get the payload, and
Hmm.
then process it. So
So you would want to decouple the extraction probably in upstream through an API or a composer,
uh, yeah, I mean
then
the
call.
extraction part in the RPA, and I will use the flows and all stuff there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because if you remember, like in hyper automation certification as
Hmm.
well, there will be scenarios where you have to use more than one, not just RPA, but
Hmm.
what is the combination of products that we can use to achieve this
Hmm.
particular solution. So we have
Hmm.
such kind of scenarios.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, but
Sure.
yeah, we need to explore a lot on this.
Yeah.
But it is quite interesting when I started doing the things.
So
Yes, Shravan, should it like you guys have worked on this? Like, like have you know like actual business scenarios where it is
mhm.
used or anywhere like it's
We are
looking great.
trying to see in few areas where, especially in public health setup, right? That's where we are seeing a lot of challenges, especially in the UK. A
Yeah,
lot of
meds.
effort goes into in a typical doctor setup, right? So prescription reminders,
Yeah,
prescription submissions, referral letters, discharge. There's a lot of thing which goes manual. So we're trying to see how we can automate some of the regular activities which the front desk people do. So that's one business scenario we are heavily seeing,
Okay.
especially in the
also
public sector health.
probably reading. I know there are a lot of people who just write the prescriptions, right? There are a lot of
Mhm.
jobs where people just write the prescriptions, and probably I'm not sure if there is any automation tool for that.
Yeah,
Or read the prescription.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good scenario.
yeah,
And
yep,
also the I think there are a lot of avenues there. I think especially within the HR and finance, right? So
yeah.
if you want to do the invoices or travel receipts, there are
Correct.
many things where this automation can be implemented.
And
Right.
do you know what is the charge for this model? Like somebody asked in the questions. With go
There
ahead.
is a
Uh,
license model, yes.
yep, yep. Same like Anypoint platform. We
Okay.
don't
Mhm.
have a standard price, but we
Mhm.
need to check with our partner manager if I'm
So
not
there
wrong.
are credits you can buy,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
and it's not the ideal time MuleSoft will charge, but it's the time the bot is running. So there are
Running.
credits, specific credits you can buy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Guys, if there are no questions, we are good to leave for the day. Yep. Once again, thank you all for your time. Maybe Subhash or Srinivas, if you want to say
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking your time this evening. I know, like most of them are night
Yeah.
time, and some of them, like from US, if somebody joined, like this is evening time, like after work. And Sudhir, you are from UK, right? It's also night for you, right? I think.
Me and Francis, but it's Ravan's talk, so we don't want you to miss it.
It was
He's
always.
our youth star, so in our community, so we don't want to miss
thanks,
his talk. So
thanks
Thank,
everyone for
thank,
yeah,
joining.
and
thank.
thanks you guys for arranging this. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks a
much.
lot. It was nice. It was a nice discussion, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye.
Yeah.
You too.
Thanks everyone. Okay.